Salvete! Hello dear Latinists and welcome to another video. This is a video on the past tense in Latin, the perfect tense, which we've been studying in the most recent videos. May I just remind you the perfect tense, well, the word perfect comes from a Latin word perficere. The verb is perficio, perficere, which means to complete, to bring to fulfillment, to effect, to accomplish. And so the perfect tense is a tense as an activity, describes an activity which has been completed. It's therefore in the past. So we started off looking at are verbs, and we take the verb, for instance, laudare, which is to praise, and we get laudavi, laudavisti, laudavit, laudavimus, laudavistis, laudaverunt. And that would be I praised or I have praised. You could translate it either way, depending on the context. The first variant, I praised, is the English past tense or preterite, which just comes from praeteritum, meaning past. Or I have praised is what we call in English the present perfect. Again, perfect, a completed action, therefore it's happened already, but it's present, it's a little closer to the present. It's either more recently happened or it's considered from the point of view of the present. So I praised, I have praised. Both bases, both options covered in Latin by the simple word laudavi. And of course the same for each person. So laudavi, laudavisti, laudavit, laudavimus, laudavistis, laudaverunt. Then we looked at second conjugation ending in ere. For instance, monere, to advise or to warn. Take off the infinitive and we get the stem mon. And then we add ui, monui, monovisti, monovit, monovimus, monovistis, monoverunt. Monoi, monovisti, monovit, monovimus, monovistis, monoverunt. What I'm going to do today is to jump actually to the fourth conjugation. So don't worry, we will come back to the third conjugation. It's a little less regular. There are all sorts of different variants. So we're going to do the fourth first. So let's take a verb such as audire. Remember, fourth conjugation verbs in Latin in the infinitive form have ire, I-R-E. So we've had laudavi, we've had monoi or habui. What are we going to get with audire? Well, take off the ire, get the stem aud. Maybe you can guess what's going to happen here. It's audivi. Audivi, audivisti, audivit, audivimus, audivistis, audiverunt. Let's do that again. You'll notice the endings are exactly the same as they are in the other conjugations. But this time, because we're dealing with ire verbs, we get iwi, iwisti, as opposed to awi, awisti, or uisti in the second conjugation. So it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? It's just sticking to that crucial vowel, that characteristic vowel, ire. So audivi, audivisti, audivit, audivimus, audivistis, audiverunt. Come on, let's do it again together, guys. Audivi, I heard, I have heard. Audivisti, you heard. Audivit, he, she, it heard. Audivimus, we. Audivistis, you plural. Audiverunt, that long E. Verunt. Whenever you get this, it's always they did or they have done something. Perfect tense, third person plural. So, laudaverunt, they praised. Habuerunt, they had. And fourth conjugation, audiverunt, they heard or have heard. Audivi, audivisti, audivit, audivimus, audivistis, audiverunt. What did you hear? What did you hear? What? Quid. Quid audivisti, talking to one person. Quid audivisti. I heard the gladiators. Gladiatores audivi. Quid audivisti. What did you hear? Gladiatores in arena audivi. We heard the gladiators. Gladiatores audivimus. Alright, so it's fairly straightforward. Same ending, we just put iwi. Okay, let's take another one. What about the verb to punish? Punire. Punire. Same thing, take off the ire, get the stem pun. Punivi, punivisti, punivit. Punivimus, punivistis, puniverunt. Remembering the V is pronounced as a W in Latin. Punivi, I punish. Punivisti, you. Punivit, he, she, it. Punivimus, punivistis, puniverunt. So audivi, punivi. What about to guard something? If you're guarding, watching over, keeping safe, you are a custodian, aren't you? Custos is the Latin word. Well, the verb is custodire, fourth conjugation. Custodire. Custodivi, custodivisti, custodivid. Custodivimus, custodivistis, custodiverunt. Again, custodivi, custodivisti, custodivid. Custodivimus, custodivistis, custodiverunt. I've got one more for you. It's a very useful verb, and it is the verb to go. Now, we haven't covered it so far. I did mention the verb contendere, which is to go, or more precisely to hurry, third conjugation. The verb to go is ire, three letters, I-R-E in the infinitive. Ire, to go. Ire. Some of you may be, that may seem familiar if you speak another Latin-based European language. But ire is the verb to go. The reason I haven't mentioned it in the other videos is because it's actually irregular in the present tense. So that's why we just stuck to contendo, contendis, contended, which is fine. If you want to know, I'll display it at the bottom of the screen for you, the present tense of the verb ire. But I'm focusing here on the past, and it follows our pattern quite nicely. Interesting that, isn't it? That a verb can be irregular in one tense, but conform to the pattern in another tense. That's the case here. So ire is going to be iwi, I-V-I, I went, or I have gone. Iwi, iwisti, iwit. Iwimus, iwistis, iverunt. Of course it is. What else? Iwi, iwisti, iwit. Iwimus, iwistis, iverunt. Again, iwi, iwisti, iwit. Iwimus, iwistis, iverunt. Very, very useful. I went to the tavern at tabernam. Iwi, yesterday. Harry at tabernam. Iwi. We went. Iwimus. Harry at tabernam. Iwimus. I shall point out here that for these ire verbs, and we're saying in the past tense it's iwi, iwisti, iwit with IVI before the final termination. Sometimes you will see it without the V, and they use a double I. So ii, iisti, iit. So I went, iisti, you went, iit, as opposed to iwit. Puniit, as opposed to puniwit. Audimus, as opposed to audivimus. So I consider the V the standard one, but oftentimes when you're reading Latin, you may come across the suppressed V and a double I. All right, so I'm just throwing that in there. But for now, we'll learn the V form. So let's make a few sentences. Hope that's clear. The pattern will remain on the screen for you guys. Let's make a few sentences. So, fourth conjugation verbs, ire in the perfect tense for a completed action. All right. I heard the boys. I heard the boys. 2 words. Pueros audivi. Pueros audivi. Should know that I heard the boys, they're the accusative object. They're from puer, second declension. Masculine's going to have os in the plural. Pueros audivi. Audivi pueros. We heard the boys in the street. We heard the boys in the street. So we can start with the boys again. Pueros, same. In we are, in the street. In we are. Audivimus. Audivimus. Pueros, in we are. Audivimus. Pueros, in we are. Audivimus. Well done, if you're getting these right. Very good. What else could we have? Let's go to punire, to punish. The cruel master, crudelis, cruel, crudelis. The cruel master punished the slave, male slave. Servus. The cruel master punished the slave. Dominus crudelis. Dominus crudelis servum, accusative, punivit. Punivit. Alright, so punivi, punivisti. We arrive at the third person. Punivit, he punished. As I said before, there is the alternative where you don't get the V and you get a double I. Puniit. Alright, that's also correct. Punivit or puniit. Dominus crudelis. Dominus crudelis, nominative. Servum, object, accusative. puniwit. What's next? The kind matron never punished the slave girl. Ankilla. The kind matron never punished the slave girl. So, never is numquam. Numquam. And we know matrona is matron, kind. Well, I suppose if you were struggling, we could have bona, the good, but kind, more precisely, is like the word we use in English, benign. So it comes from Latin benignus, but that's the masculine form, which is how you'd find it in the dictionary, how it's listed. You obviously change it to feminine, matron. Matrona benigna, subject, case, nominative. Matrona benigna. The verb is puniwit, or puniit, punished, never, numquam. Whom did she never punish? The slave girl. Object, ankillam. Matrona benigna, ankillam, numquam, puniwit, or indeed, no V but a double I, puniit. To be distinguished from the present tense, which will be punit, it, P-U-N-I-T. Punit, past, puniwit, or indeed puniit. Okay, so it is clearly different. One more time. Matrona benigna, ankillam, numquam puniwit. And you'll know that it's perfectly correct as well to bring your accusative, your direct object, to the start in Latin, and you'd get something like ankillam matrona benigna numquam puniwit. Ankillam matrona benigna numquam puniwit. No difference in meaning, and that's quite normal to come across that in Latin, guys. A few more sentences for you. Let's go to being a custodian, to guard something, custodire. And the son this time is Filius. The son guarded the money in the kitchen. Ooh, the son guarded, custodire, guarded the money in the kitchen. Culina. Filius, pecuniam, accusative, in culina, custodiwit, V-I-T, custodiwit, or possibly custodiit, double I-T. Present tense would simply be custodit, I-T. Filius, the son, pecuniam inculina custodiwit. Or indeed, pecuniam, get your accusative first, pecuniam filius inculina custodiwit. Pecuniam inculina filius custodiwit. Next one, the gladiators guarded the robber. The gladiators guarded the robber. Robber is a latro, it's third conjugation. What's your accusative going to be then? Because he's the object, isn't he? Latronem. Always em for a third declension noun. So the gladiators, gladiatores, guarded the robber. Gladiatores, latronem, custodiverunt. That's that lovely third person plural. Erunt. Custodiverunt. Gladiatores latronem custodiverunt. Gladiatores latronem custodiverunt. Next one. The girls went to the forum yesterday. So we're using a verb ire. Ire. The girls with iwi, wisti, iwit, iwimus, iwistis, iwerunt. So that's what we're going to use. Plural. The girls went to the forum, ad forum, yesterday. One girl is puella, first declension. Plural's got to be puellai, alright? Puellai, hope you know these by now very quickly. Puellai, and the verb iwerunt. Puellai iwerunt. Puellai ad forum iwerunt, yesterday. Heri. Puellai heri ad forum iwerunt. Puellai ad forum heri iwerunt. Iwerunt from ire, to go. One last sentence for you guys. I went to the arena with my friends. Remember, to is ad plus accusative, so ad arenam. I went to the arena with my friends. Friend is amicus. It's going to be with my friends, cum plus adjective. Ad arenam cum amicis iwi, or possibly ee, double I, iwi. That's the one I would use, iwi. Ad arenam cum amicis iwi. Ad arenam cum amicis iwi. So, there you have it. Very well done, guys, if you managed to get those sentences correct, all or indeed most of them. And please don't rush with these videos. Take your time, maybe go back over those examples again. Pause after I ask the question, see if you can arrive at the answer yourself, and use the videos in that way. So let's just go over the conjugation one more time. We use the verb to hear, audire. And so, because it's ire, we keep the e as the prominent vowel in the termination. Audivi, audivisti, audiwit, audivimus, audivistis, audiverunt. Again, audivi, audivisti, audiwit, audivimus, audivistis, audiverunt. Very well done, guys. I hope that's been helpful for you. I'm going to come back in the next video and we're going to have a look at some examples of third conjugation, very common third conjugation verbs in the past tense. So please like the video if it's been useful, add a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and see you next time. Valete.